What's going on? It's your boy Cool with Cool Kicks. Here for another video, you guys. Obviously, I haven't been able to hit up the Nike outlets, but I'm still growing my collection. I'm still looking for deals, and it's been tough, you guys. But I think I got a little something that I wanted to share with you guys. Obviously, hitting up retail stores and stuff like that doesn't really fit with most of our budgets. Definitely doesn't fit with mine because you know, I am an essential worker, so I've still been working, but my girl, she hasn't been working, so we're kind of down a little bit of income. So I've been looking for crazy deals online, and I think I've found something that might work for a lot of you guys. So lately, what I have been doing is I've been online looking for deals on either brand new sneakers or sneakers that have been gently used and are in really good condition. Ideally, I'm looking for sneakers that come from collectors like me who wear their shoes a couple times a month or a few times every few months. I have found that you can find some really crazy deals on used sneakers and you can find some sneakers that you want to restore. That's something that I might want to do just so I can share that experience with you guys. The economy right now sucks really bad, so unfortunately some people gotta let go of their sneakers. Some people need cash really fast, so some people are just letting go of their sneakers for a hell of a deal, you guys. The places that I've been looking at that I think are the best are GOAT, eBay, and Mercari. There's also places like Letgo, OfferUp, and Facebook Marketplace, but I really don't want to meet with anybody. I want all of the money to be handled by a third party, and GOAT, eBay, and Mercari all fit that bill. So those have been really good avenues for me. Along with the third party dealing with the payment as well. I do prefer eBay and Mercari over OfferUp, as well as Letgo and Facebook, because the search engine's just so much easier to use. I don't have to go through 500 crappy sneakers or 500 sneakers that aren't my size to find my sneakers. So I do think that the search engine on Mercari and eBay are a lot better. If you don't know much about sneakers and you're kind of new to the sneaker game, GOAT's going to be the safest way to go. They do have that authentication process, so it's going to be a lot safer. You know, obviously they're not hitting 100%, but the likelihood of getting something fake is a lot less than some of the other platforms. The price does tend to be a little bit higher, but at least you know that, hey, you have a really good chance of getting something real. With eBay, there is a really huge selection, but the prices tend to be a little bit higher than Mercari, and there are a lot of fakes. Like, you know, I think it'd be kind of naive to not talk about that. On Mercari, it is super cheap. You are going to get the really quick deals, and you're also going to get people that really want to flip things really quickly. But also, just like eBay, there are going to be a lot of fakes. So you kind of need to know what to look for. Obviously, with eBay and Mercari, there is no authentication process. The money goes through a third party, but the seller is going to directly sell the sneakers right to you. So you're going to have to make sure you really know what you're doing when you want to buy something from one of those two platforms. So I do have some tips on how to deal with Mercari and or eBay. Also with GOAT too, because I found some crazy deals on GOAT lately. I haven't been searching as much on GOAT. I have seen some Dornbecker dunks that I really want. They're still a little bit too high. Brand new, they're going for $300-400, but I did see a really clean used pair on GOAT for like what, 200? I think it was like 200, 220 or something like that. And I'm really figuring out if I should pull the trigger. They do have some deals on sneakers on GOAT, so don't forget to check on GOAT. All right, so let's move on to the tips, you guys. I think the first tip, if you really want to have some really big savings, is to be patient. You really have to be patient. It's interesting because you have to be patient to find those really good deals, but when you do find those really good deals, you need to move super quick. There have been quite a few occasions when I've slept on sneakers or when I wanted to ask questions or when I wasn't sure if I should pull the trigger or not, and I ended up losing on those deals. So I did end up missing out on these LeBron 15s right here. You know, I liked the price. I didn't jump on it, so I ended up missing out. I also ended up missing out on these infrareds. They were selling, I don't remember if they were $50, if they were above that, but you know, an option that's there is to be able to offer a few dollars less than what the asking rate is, and you need to jump on those opportunities and take a stab or just buy it for the regular price if the price is cheap enough. And yeah, I definitely missed out on that deal. Also, there's these Dornbeckers right here. This was a few months ago, but these are the type of deals that you just need to jump on, because you're not going to find a Dornbecker 3 for under a couple $100. Man, deals just be insane sometimes. So you need to be patient until you find one of these deals. But when you do find them, you need to jump on them real quick. All right, tip number 2, you're going to have to know the background of some of these sneakers, you guys. You're going to want to know when certain colorways came out for certain sneakers. You're going to want to know how the box looked when they came out. You're going to want to know those things. And if you don't, do some research. I haven't been in the sneaker game that long, so I do have to do a lot more research than OG sneakerheads. But you got to do what you got to do to make sure you guys get that authentic pair. You also don't want to end up accidentally buying some sneakers that are like 10 years old. Even though they're super clean, if they're 10 years old, the rubber, the glue, and the foam and stuff like that, that's only going to last a certain amount of time. So you might end up having to restore those sneakers a lot quicker than you want to. And you don't want to get stuck in that position. Tip number 3, guys, you're definitely going to want to review the ads very, very thoroughly. Sometimes they're not going to have that much information, and in those situations, you might want to pass. And in certain situations, there might be all kinds of information, and you really need to go through that very carefully, because some of the platforms might not allow you to return the sneakers if the description actually matches what you get. And when you do read the description, you're going to want to make sure you look at the actual physical description, as well as what production the sneaker could be. I saw a pair that he got game Jordan 13s. They look super clean. And then I looked at the tags and I looked at the different stuff, and I saw it was a 2012 pair. And I'm like, I thought it was a 2018. So I don't think it would have been a horrible deal, but I like to know what I'm getting into when I buy the pair of sneakers. When you look at the ad, you also want to make sure you look at the photo very, very carefully. You're going to want to make sure you pay attention to the condition of the sneakers, if there were any marks on them, if there's any decay, if there's any yellowing. You're going to want to make sure you look at that. And there's certain clues that you're going to want to make sure you look at to make sure the sneakers are legit. Some of the photos that you see, some of them, they're just going to be blurry as hell. Some of them are going to be taken in the dark where you can't see any detail. With those pair of sneakers, I'm staying away. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's fake or that they aren't in great condition. It's just, if I don't know what I'm getting into, I'm staying away. It is what it is. Tip number 4, let's look at some of the clues. The tag. If they have pictures of the tags, you're going to want to make sure you look at it very carefully. Nike is pretty consistent with the font that they use and the spacing between some of the letters and stuff like that. So when I get a pair of sneakers, I look at the Jordans and or the Nikes that are similar in time and the actual sneaker, and that provides me detail on how the tag should look. If you don't have the pair of sneakers, you can also look at some of the YouTubers such as Jumpman Bostic, who goes over all the specific details and actually shows you the pictures of the tags and stuff like that, and you can do a comparison on the computer. Another thing you're going to want to look for on the tag is the dates of production. As mentioned earlier, you're going to want to see if you're buying some 10-year-old sneakers as opposed to the ones that just came out. You're also going to want to make sure the dates make sense. I saw some Jordan 14 candy canes, aka the Rip Hamiltons, and those bad boys came out in 2017. I saw the tag, and the tag stated like something like 2017 or something like that, and I'm like, dude, Nike does not have their sneakers sit around for 2 years. So I don't know if that necessarily is a clue that it's fake, but I'm just not taking a chance on that. Like, it is what it is. So I passed on those bad boys. And those were in good condition. And the rest of the photos and all that stuff looked good. And the price was decent. But I'm staying away. It is what it is. I just don't want to take a chance. You're also going to want to look for obvious mistakes. I just saw some off-white Jordan 5s recently. And I was looking at the tags and stuff like that. And it just didn't look right. It just didn't look right. The numbers were all jumbled up. I think one of them meant to say January 20th, but it said January 200th or 120 or something like that. So the numbers just didn't work. So I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely staying away from that. If you're getting anything super hyped, if you're paying $300, $400, $500 for a pair of sneakers, I'd be going through GOAT. I'm gonna go through GOAT. I'm gonna go through StockX. But if I want something at a really good price that's cheap, I'm gonna be honest, that's $100 or less, maybe slightly over $100. I have no problem going through Mercari or eBay. But if I'm going through something really hype, or if I'm trying to get something really expensive, I'm gonna be honest, I'm just gonna go through StockX and or GOAT because they do have that authentication process, and I'm gonna assume they do a hell of a better job going through all that stuff than I do. When you go through the box, you guys, you're gonna want to look at the details. You're gonna want to make sure that the font, the shape of the tag, you're gonna want to make sure all of that makes sense. And if you don't have any pictures or you don't have any Jordans of your own to compare it to, make sure you look online, because Jumpman Bostic and other people who love to help you authenticate sneakers, they're going to be able to help you with that. Also on the box, if there's any additional writing, especially in Chinese, I'm staying away. It is what it is. I saw some Kyrie 5 SpongeBobs that were priced really, really well. And it came with the box, everything, but that box had some big old Chinese letters on them, and I don't know what the hell they mean, but all I know is that all the fakes come from China, so I'm staying away from those. Yes, all the real sneakers do come from China as well, but all those boxes back there that I have, and I actually have a lot more boxes off the screen, yeah, none of those have any Chinese writing on them, so I'm staying away. Sometimes you're going to find other additional stickers that aren't from Nike, and you're going to see some of them that say letters like FTA, FTL, and CHM. Those pretty much means that they came from Foot Locker, Foot Action, or Champs. So you really don't have to worry about those. And some sneakers, they're just going to come with boxes that are really beat up. If I see a brand new sneaker that hasn't been out for that long and the boxes are really beat up, I'm probably going to stay away. And that's because when you order fakes from China, they usually just get the box of the sneakers, throw them in a DHL bag, and send them that way, and the boxes always get jacked up. I bought some drones that I wanted to sell on Amazon. They were Chinese drones from a Chinese company, and I ordered straight from the company. I ordered like 10 drones from them. They ended up putting them in bags. Like these, I think on Amazon they were selling for like close to $100, and they sent them in freaking bags, bro. And that really pissed me off. Half of the boxes were destroyed. I couldn't sell them on Amazon. I ended up selling them on eBay, and that happens with sneakers too. That happens all the time with sneakers. So just make sure you guys, if you see a beat up box, just make sure it makes sense. Like if it's a 5-year-old sneaker, you know, and the box is kind of beat up, that kind of makes sense. If you have a pair of sneakers that just came out last year and the box is like super beat up, I'm staying away. The last thing you're going to want to look for are the accessories. Sometimes sneakers come with a Nike hang tag. You're going to want to make sure the color and the shape and all that stuff is real with those. With other pair of sneakers like the Off-Whites, you're going to make sure those tags make sense and that they're the right color. I saw some Off-White 5s recently that had a white tag instead of the black ones, and also Chinese writing on it. And yeah, when I see that, I'm definitely staying away, and I think most of you guys should too. Also, when you see stuff like StockX tags and stuff like that, that means absolutely nothing. That does not mean anything. You can buy those bad boys on eBay. I'll show you a picture right here on the right. You can buy those bad boys on eBay. Yeah, you can buy those authentication cards, stuff like that. So that means absolutely nothing, you guys. All right, tip number 5. Tip number 5, make sure you look at the additional fees. In California, it really sucks because pretty much every online retailer charges tax in California now. GOAT and StockX charge tax. Mercari charges tax as well, so that's kind of something that sucks for us Californians. eBay, it depends on where it's coming from. Sometimes they charge tax, sometimes it doesn't. Also, on some of these platforms, they charge shipping. GOAT usually charges shipping for sure. StockX charges shipping for sure. On Mercari, it depends on the seller. And also eBay, it depends on the seller. So make sure you guys just look at all those details very carefully. Step number 6, you guys. Make sure you look at the seller. Make sure you do some research on the seller. On Mercari as well as eBay, you can find information about the seller. You can see their ratings. You can also see what other items they have for sale. So that provides you all kinds of information. If they have a bunch of sneakers that are the exact same size or similar size, it's safe to assume that they're getting rid of their entire collection and they're probably going to be selling stuff for really cheap. If they have a bunch of different sizes and have a bunch of different items, that means they're probably a reseller, probably a little bit more expensive. And if they have no sales and no history at all, I'm staying away, because I don't know what the heck their history is. So I'm staying away from those. So the last step is you're going to want to be very consistent. You're going to want to check very frequently, because when the deals come, they go quick. They go quick. So you're going to have to check very frequently. You're going to have to look for the deals, and you're going to have to go get it, you guys. I ended up missing out on a couple deals because I'd been checking for, every 2-3 hours for the last week or so. But I did sleep figuratively and literally. I think I slept on a couple of pair of shoes where they had crazy deals, or the seller ended up lowering the price onto like a insane amount, and I ended up missing out on those deals. So you're gonna want to make sure you guys check very frequently and be very consistent. The reason I'm sharing these deals with you guys is because I ended up coming up pretty big, you guys. I've been checking Mercari on a regular basis. There's like a list of sneakers that I'm really looking at. If you think I'm dorky, there is a pretty huge list of sneakers that I'm looking at right there. And yeah, one of them came up. I did see a Jordan 3 Pure Money. It was under $100. Even with the fees and stuff like that, it would have been slightly over $100. They were in really good condition with the original box, everything. The tag looked right. The details were there on the photos. I was able to see the condition of the sneakers. The fact that I had the box, like, that was just an extra, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that made me retarded happy. But yeah, I ended up copping those for $85 plus the fees. I think it was like a little over $100. And yeah, man, I felt like when I copped those, I totally felt like I came up at the outlets. It was like, when I get those sneakers, I'll definitely share those with you guys. Hopefully you guys can come up like I did, and hopefully you guys will be just as pleased. Thanks for watching, you guys. Make sure you guys go ahead, help your boy out, press that like button. If you're new to my channel, make sure you guys go ahead, press that subscribe button, click on that notification bell as well. And yeah, see you guys in the next one, you guys. Peace. Man, did I make a lot of mistakes? Hope it doesn't take forever to edit this. Figure out how the tags were at that time of year, or how the tags were made at that. God damn it! Damn phone. But when you look at the tags, you're gonna want to make sure you